In the quiet hills of Bosnia, a discovery was made that, if true, could rewrite everything we know about human history. Near the town of Visoko, a series of massive pyramid-shaped hills sparked bold claims, older than Egypt, taller than Giza, and built by a forgotten civilization lost to time. While mainstream science dismissed the idea as a hoax, others swore it was the real deal. The mystery began in 2005 when Bosnian-American businessman and amateur archaeologist Samir Osmanagic visited Visoko and noticed something unusual about a hill called Visosika. To most locals, it was just a hill, but Osmanagic saw straight sides, precise orientation to the cardinal points, and a flat top, features that looked strikingly man-made. Convinced it was no ordinary formation, he went public, declaring it the world's oldest and largest pyramid, predating Egypt's by tens of thousands of years and standing taller than the Great Pyramid of Giza. The announcement set off a storm. Media outlets worldwide flocked to the story, tourists poured into the town, and Osmanagic launched the Bosnian Pyramid of the Sun Foundation to excavate and explore. But the excitement came with fierce backlash. Mainstream archaeologists and geologists condemned the claims as pseudoscience, arguing that the formations were natural hills, nothing more, accusing Osmanagic of creating a fantasy to drive tourism and national pride. Yet he pressed forward. Excavations revealed tunnels, bold claims grew louder, and interest spread, drawing in independent researchers, mystics, tourists, and even a few open-minded scientists. At the heart of the debate is the so-called Pyramid of the Sun, rising an estimated 722 feet above the valley. If artificial, it would be 240 feet taller than Giza's Great Pyramid, its sides perfectly aligned to the cardinal directions. Even more astonishing, Osmanagic's team claimed it was part of a larger network of 5 colossal structures, the Pyramids of the Moon, Dragon, and Love, along with the Temple of Mother Earth, arranged in a geometric pattern that suggested intelligence and design. The implications are staggering. If true, these pyramids would not only shatter timelines but point to an advanced European civilization predating Sumer, with no known records, tools, or monuments to explain its existence. And that's where the mystery deepens, because if the pyramids of Bosnia are real, then history as we know it isn't just incomplete, it may be entirely wrong. Osmanagic claims that the Pyramid of the Moon, the second largest in the Visoko complex, was built from terrace layers of sandstone and clay, materials he insists were deliberately chosen as ancient construction tools. His team has released photos showing flat, rectangular stone blocks stacked in ways that appear unmistakably man-made, alongside evidence of artificial concrete supposedly stronger and more water-resistant than modern versions. But size and materials aren't the only mysteries. Supporters point to the pyramid's precise alignment with true north, said to be even more accurate than Egypt's Great Pyramid, and to their celestial layout, which mirrors formations like Orion's Belt and the Pleiades while forming equilateral triangles that suggest sacred geometry. Skeptics counter that this is pareidolia and confirmation bias at work, arguing that hills can mimic symmetry, rock can fracture into flat layers, and humans are skilled at seeing patterns where none exist. Still, the controversy deepens. If the formations are natural, they are remarkably convenient in shape. If they are artificial, then someone constructed massive, astronomically aligned monuments in Europe thousands of years before recorded civilizations. That possibility isn't just unlikely, it's history-breaking. To unravel the truth, one has to look beneath the surface, where an underground labyrinth adds new layers of intrigue. Beneath what is claimed to be the Pyramid of the Sun lies the Ravn tunnels, a sprawling network of passages that Osmanagic's team believes were deliberately carved tens of thousands of years ago by a forgotten civilization. The tunnels stretch for hundreds of meters, perhaps miles, and every year new sections are unearthed, raising fresh questions. Inside, the air is unusually fresh, oxygen levels remain high, and some speculate the tunnels were engineered with advanced ventilation or energy manipulation. More controversially, visitors often report strange sensations, tingling skin, lightness, sudden bursts of euphoria, or even relief from chronic ailments. Osmanagic's team claims to have detected unusual electromagnetic frequencies, high concentrations of negative ions, and a steady ultrasound signal of 28 kHz said to benefit human cells. The boldest claim of all describes a 4.5-meter wide beam of energy pulsing from the peak of the Pyramid of the Sun at that same frequency, with no apparent source. Mainstream scientists dismiss these findings as flawed methodology and misread instruments, but believers continue to flock to Visoko, treating the Raven tunnels as a New Age pilgrimage site. Meditation chambers now line parts of the labyrinth, where visitors sit on stone benches, convinced they are tapping into the forgotten power of a civilization lost to history. Osmanagic argues that the Pyramid of the Moon, the complex's second-largest structure, is built from terrace layers of sandstone and clay and even showcases flat, rectangular blocks that look deliberately stacked, along with patches of what his team calls artificial concrete, allegedly stronger and more water-resistant than modern mixes. Beyond materials and scale, supporters point to the site's precise orientation to true north, claim to be even more accurate than Giza's Great Pyramid, and to apparent alignments with celestial formations like Orion's Belt and the Pleiades, even forming equilateral triangles that suggest sacred geometry. Skeptics counter that these patterns are pareidolia, natural fracturing, and confirmation bias. The debate intensifies underground, where the Raven tunnels, narrow passages explored by volunteers, have produced claims of fresh air circulation, unusual electromagnetic readings, reported sensations of tingling or well-being, and even an alleged 28 kHz ultrasound signal and a pulsing 4.5-meter energy beam from the Pyramid of the Sun. Mainstream scientists dismiss these findings as methodological errors or misinterpretation, yet pilgrims, healers, and curious travelers still flock to experience the tunnels, meditation chambers, and stone benches. Critics label the whole project pseudoscience and tourism dressed up as archaeology, while Osmanagic insists that mainstream academia is too rigid to accept anomalous evidence. Radiocarbon dates from organic matter in the tunnels, if tied to construction, have been published at around 30,000 years, a claim that would overturn current timelines but is disputed as possibly dating unrelated material. With no clearly datable tools, inscriptions, burial chambers, or peer-reviewed confirmation, the site sits at an uneasy crossroads. To skeptics, it's coincidence and geology. To believers, it's a lost megastructure that could rewrite history. And to the undecided, it remains an open, provocative mystery beneath Bosnia's hills. Now, if we assume the pyramids are real, a flood of questions immediately arises.
Who built them?
Where did that civilization come from? And why did it vanish without leaving any trace? So far, there's no written language, no tools, no graves, no carvings, none of the usual signs of an ancient society of builders. It feels as if someone appeared, constructed something massive, and then disappeared, leaving only stone and speculation behind. Some theorists suggest that if such a civilization did exist, it may have been wiped out by a cataclysmic event, a comet impact, massive flooding, or sudden climate shifts, all of which occurred during the late Ice Age. This idea has gained global attention, especially as new evidence of ancient structures continues to surface, such as Göbekli Tepe in Turkey, which dates back over 11,000 years and already shattered the belief that early humans couldn't build large, complex sites. In this broader context, the Bosnian pyramids don't seem quite as far-fetched. Perhaps they are not a random anomaly, but part of a lost chapter in human history, scattered across the globe and slowly being rediscovered. Another angle to consider is why mainstream institutions resist this idea so strongly. Beyond the lack of hard evidence, there's a built-in fear of academic disruption. If someone like Osmanagic, an outsider with no formal archaeological training, were proven right, it would shake the credibility of the entire field. Careers, reputations, and institutions are built on certain historical narratives, and changing those narratives isn't just inconvenient, it's threatening. This doesn't necessarily imply a conspiracy, but it does mean radical ideas face a higher burden of proof, and the Bosnian pyramids haven't yet crossed that line. Still, the lingering question remains, what if it's all real? What if the tunnels, the energy fields, the giant stone blocks, and the perfectly aligned slopes are all pieces of something we've completely misunderstood? If so, humanity's story may be much older, more complex, and perhaps more advanced than we've ever imagined. And maybe, just maybe, we've only scratched the surface. But the story isn't just about stones and science. It's also about people. The pyramids have transformed an entire community. Before 2005, Visoko was a quiet, almost forgotten town in Bosnia and Herzegovina. Today, it's a bustling hub of curious tourists, spiritual seekers, and alternative history enthusiasts from around the world. Osmanagic's claims triggered international attention and drew waves of visitors eager to experience the mystery firsthand. Tourists come to hike the pyramid slopes, explore the ravine tunnels, meditate in so-called healing chambers, or simply soak in the atmosphere. This surge has given the local economy a remarkable boost. Hotels, cafes, souvenir shops, and tour companies have sprung up seemingly overnight, catering to both believers and skeptics. Whether visitors come for spiritual healing or just to see the world's largest pyramid, they keep the buzz alive year-round. The phenomenon has also deeply affected the community itself. Some residents embrace the spotlight, proud to share their town's unique story, while others remain cautious, worried about environmental damage or misinformation. Still, most agree that the pyramids, real or not, have put Visoko on the global map in ways no one ever expected. Beyond tourism, the site has become a spiritual destination. New Age travelers and wellness seekers flock here for healing, meditation, and transformation. Retreats, workshops, and energy-based sessions take place regularly, fueled by the belief that the pyramids emit powerful forces. Visitors often describe profound experiences of peace, clarity, or renewal while inside the tunnels or on the slopes. This unique blend of archaeology, spirituality, and tourism has created something unlike anywhere else. For believers, Visoko is where history